The in-home fitness industry is an exciting new source of revenue for songwriters and music publishers, which is why I'm so excited to welcome our next guests. 3 months ago, NMPA announced a joint collaboration agreement with Peloton to work together to further optimize Peloton's music licensing system and process. For me personally, Peloton has been a blessing during the quarantine. I'm so excited to have as our guest Gwen Riley, VP of Music Partnerships at Peloton, and my favorite Peloton instructor, Emma Lovewell. Emma, you are one of the most popular Peloton instructors, and I know that part of the reason you're my favorite is because of the great music that you choose for your classes. I know that in a previous life you were a DJ. How has that impacted the music that you choose, and how do you go about choosing the music for your classes?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me, first of all, and thank you for your kind words. I'm happy that you love my classes. So music has always been a part of my life. I grew up, my dad's a musician, a folk singer, and a guitarist, and I grew up studying piano. I was a dancer and a singer, and so I first learned how movement and music have such a beautiful connection and an impactful connection. And then through DJing, kind of learning how to read the room, reading the audience, figuring out what songs to play when. And so I think kind of all that cumulative experience has allowed me to create playlists in the way that I do. I take a lot of pride in my playlists. So I like to think of them like creating a movie score. There's a beginning, middle, and end. There's a purpose for every single song at one point in the class. So it's definitely an art form, and I've been doing it for a very long time. So I'm glad that you like it and you acknowledge the hard work that goes into it.
I do. Some days I don't love it so much when it hurts, but it's great. Gwen, Peloton now reaches 2.6 million members. How important has music been to the success of the Peloton experience and growing that membership?
I think music is just extremely integral to the Peloton brand, and our brand is positioned with from a members first philosophy, right? So members choose our platform and they stay with our platform, members like you, because they're able to get this unique experience with every workout, and our instructors are really taking them and guiding them on that journey. So our job is really, as Emma said, to really create the soundtrack for really what can sometimes be the most physical and emotional part of the day for many people, which is what happens when you work out. So that's heavy stuff. And if we can get this right, the music is really kind of the final component that elevates these experiences and really drives the engagement. So the onus is on us to make sure that we are listening to our members, we're listening to our instructors and helping to educate them about our growing variety of music options that we're adding into the service. And, we're working with our music partners very closely as we think about ways to create, amazing audio experiences and ways to extend those experiences, whether, it's on or then off platform. And our instructors, in particular Emma, have musical brands, which is a very important part of what you're asking about, which has really been our success. They're the talent and the face of our company. So our approach starts with making sure we're staying true to the authenticity of the instructor's needs. We want to understand what Emma's workout objectives are, like her narrative, cadence, beats, that need to land throughout the workout, and mood and vibe as they speak to their audience. And we balance that against making sure that we're growing a music library that really allows us to select the right song for the right moment in every class. Taking into account also how this is going to enhance and impact the member experience. So hopefully there's a song in each class that a member will discover and love, and maybe another song that they're excited to hear again, or a song that really motivates their performance. But that relationship with music is very, very special. And it's what you own as a member, working out and sort of going on that journey. If we're doing this right, we're just here to kind of open the door, for it all.
Yeah. Emma, for those not familiar with the Peloton classes, many of the classes are centered around the type of music that's being played. So you can have an 80s pop ride or a 90s rock ride or a modern country ride. When you're putting those classes together, how do you curate that playlist? Do you go to some kind of master list of songs that fit within that genre? How much do you go to your own personal playlist of what you like? I think people are interested as to how that comes about.
Sure. There's definitely, an art form to it, like I said, and every instructor has a different way to go about it. For me, if I'm teaching a more fitness first focused class, like an intervals ride or a climb ride, I might pick the class plan first, which will then determine which cadence I need, which will then determine which BPM for in a song that I need. But like you said, if it's a 90s rock ride or a pop ride, um, I am choosing music first. Usually I'm picking music that moves me, that I love, that I know other people will love. And then kind of simultaneously, I'm building the class plan while I'm building the playlist to make sure that, you're having a great journey from a warm up to an intense interval section to a big climb. You're kind of getting the whole thing, and I'm curating that playlist to just guide you throughout that experience. So usually if I'm asking you to push, you better believe there's like a huge, crescendo in the song, or there's like a big drop in the beat, or something's happening. So I take pride in really, connecting your movement and what I'm asking you to do with what you're also listening to.
Yeah, I love how you describe it like scoring a movie. Gwen, I've heard from a lot of people about how much the Peloton's been important to them during the quarantine, in particular when they can't go to their normal gym. What are you seeing in terms of subscriptions and engagement by your membership because of the fact that people are quarantined?
Well, one of the things I'm probably most proud about is that we were actually able to pivot very quickly right at the beginning of the shelter-in-place order, and we were able to extend our 30-day free trial on the app to 90 days, which provided just this amazing solution for anyone looking for a convenient workout option at home, right? So we've definitely seen a lot of growth at this time. I know we just shared in our recent earnings report that there was a 94% increase in just connected fitness subscribers and over 1 million new members that joined our app. And I think we completed a little over 80 million workouts in the first 6 weeks of quarantine. So, I really think the takeaway from a music perspective is that, particularly with the app popularity, one thing that we're going to see is some growth in our under 35 age demographic. So it's going to mean it's just we're reaching out, we're touching, and we're connecting with a broader and more diverse and different group of people who are looking for different types of music options. So, not only, growth always means that it's also going to be an exciting time for music growth and a lot of development, in that specific platform as well.
Yeah. Emma, I'm sure the quarantine's affecting the way you teach too. Normally you'd be in a live studio with an audience there pedaling along with you. How do you do it now with no audience and in an empty room?
Yeah, so we, for the first time ever, we now offer live from home classes from many of our instructors. So some of my colleagues are teaching from home, and so I am on my bike, getting my butt kicked just like everybody else, and I'm throwing virtual high fives on the leaderboard. What's really incredible is one of our live from home classes had a record-breaking 23,000 live rides, which broke our previous record of 19,000. So even though we know that our members love our deep library of classes, we also now know that they really value the live experience, because this 23,000 is just proof of that. So it's been kind of exciting to see my colleagues teaching from home and getting like a little slice of, seeing their living room and having their backdrop and their like beautiful plants in the background. So it's been kind of a fun way to pivot for us. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing of particular interest to me is that Peloton offers what's known as an artist series, which are classes that are focused on the music of one particular artist. Gwen, how do you choose which artists that you're going to feature, and what's been the reaction to those types of classes?
Well, they're definitely some of the most popular sort of specialty classes in our services. Members love them, and contribute to a lot of even the viral marketing that we do around them. But the artist series has really been just a great way to partner with key artists to spotlight their music and legacy as true instructor-led celebrations. So they consist of hosting an artist-themed event. I'm really glad that you've been enjoying them. Oftentimes across multiple workout disciplines that are really designed to exclusively focus on and highlight the artist's talents and contributions. So it allows us to kind of go deep into an artist catalog and share that with our membership. So what we do is, we put together carefully curated playlists and workouts that, really allow us to elevate key points of their artistry, their songwriting, could be vocal style, it could be their production, tailored from their catalog so that these are one-of-a-kind artist experiences across the platform. And then they're hosted by instructors who want to lead the celebrations because actually, first and foremost, they're true fans. So we get this really, really effective and organic engagement going, where the instructors start by posting on their socials, and they start a conversation in advance of the ride with the membership, and then as the excitement builds and the members participate in the ride, they really go on a musical journey where they can enjoy, banter about the artist, and they can dig deep in the catalog and feel camaraderie with a community of other fans. It's a way that we're bringing fans together in a new platform, in a new space, to really celebrate an artist or to discover that work. And to date, we've worked with everyone from Paul McCartney to Lizzo to Gaga, Queen, Billie Eilish, Melissa Etheridge, Shakira, Smokey Robinson, Madonna, Weezer, Mustard. I guess you were asking how we choose. That's sort of more of a holistic approach, right? It has to start with the music and how the music can kind of best connect into the platform, speak to our members. But we're also doing things like we're tracking larger programming touch points that are meaningful to the company. Pride or Black History Month could be the backdrop of why we're doing certain types of programming at certain types of time and inviting different artists to come in and participate. And that's really delicately has to be balanced with, the artist's brand, so that, we're doing a delicate dance to make sure that we're really thinking about authenticity, and that in any month we're really serving up a nice cross section of musical genres and styles and different types of artists. So, I don't know, maybe it's like balancing cantaloupes and sort of figuring out what's the best melon in the store or something like that. But we have a lot of fun doing it because it really starts from what members are asking for and what our instructors are truly fans about, and that's why it works. That's exactly why it works.
Emma, I think you've taught two of those classes featuring music from Coldplay and Red Hot Chili Peppers. How was that experience, and how were those classes received by your fans?
Well, those were two of my favorite classes to ever teach, for sure. And luckily, they were really well received. Both of those classes are some of my top performing classes on the platform. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan. And like Gwen said, we want to make sure that the instructor actually cares about the music that they're playing, whether it's an artist series ride or not. So the fact that I grew up listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers and Coldplay, and I love both of those bands, and I get to share it with the world was incredible. I like to do a lot of research beforehand on the artist, so I can find some, interesting facts, so I can educate the members on the artists. And then I get to share personal stories, like I listened to this when I was in high school, or this reminds me of driving late at night, or whatever, the story is. And then it really allows that connection. And then people feel that connection because they can relate. I said something in my Coldplay ride where I said, if you haven't cried in your car while listening to Coldplay, then you haven't truly lived. And so many people reached out to me and they were like, how did you know? I cry in my car to Coldplay all the time. So yeah, people love the artist rides, and the instructors, we love teaching them.
That's great. So Gwen, I'll get you out of here on this question. Watching this interview right now are many of the world's best songwriters who often write for multiple artists. For example, our NMPA icon last year was Ryan Tedder, who obviously not only writes for his own band, but he also wrote the song Sucker for the Jonas Brothers, which was the #1 radio song of 2019. Is there any hope of seeing this artist series expanded to include maybe the music of just great songwriters who may write for multiple artists?
Yes, the answer is yes. And hi Ryan, I hope you're watching. We've actually expanded the artist series to include, songwriters as part of the series, a producer series, a new DJ series. So, what we're trying to be thoughtful about is really making sure, and a good example was, when we had a legacy artist like Smokey Robinson recently, that we're not just leaning into the hits when we program. And all to your point, David, it's really about leaning into the songs and the production as a reminder of what, made Smokey so uniquely talented. I can't tell you right now, but we have an amazing songwriter that we're going to be showcasing sometime very soon, who has written easily 3 decades of hits. And what's really interesting about him is that all of these hits and really run the gamut of diversity and style. And so it's really allowing us to craft like some very, very interesting playlists. And I think the instructor commentary on this is going to be really interesting. I'll have to give you a heads up, when it's coming, and you'll see it on our socials. But you will be very excited about a very big songwriter who we will be showcasing soon. So stay tuned for all of that. But we're on it. We're on it, and we're excited about it. And it's a big part of what we want to do in terms of just really educating people on who the people are behind these hits. The songwriters themselves, and celebrate that. So yes, stay tuned. We're looking forward.
That's great. Well, listen, thank you so much. We're very excited about this new partnership with Peloton and NMPA. And on a personal level, I really appreciate you helping me get through the quarantine, and Emma, you being such an important part of my fitness program. So ladies, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us. Thank you.
Thanks.